This is Midnight Fire.
She entered the elevator at 2:29 a.m. 3 minutes later, it arrived empty. No camera ever recorded her leaving. At 2:29 a.m., inside an aging apartment building at the edge of the city, the motion sensor lights in the hallway clicked off, leaving only the faint red blink of a CCTV camera watching the empty corridor. A young woman stepped into view. Her name was Emily Park, a 24-year-old illustrator returning home after a long night of work. She looked exhausted, a sketch bag hanging from her shoulder, her phone loosely held in her hand, her eyes barely open as she scrolled. Emily walked into the elevator and pressed the button for the 14th floor. The metal doors began to close, and just before they shut completely, she was still standing there. 3 minutes later, the elevator arrived at the 14th floor. The doors opened with a soft ding. The cabin was empty. No Emily, no sketch bag, no signs of anyone ever being inside. That moment became the center of one of the most unsettling disappearances the building had ever seen. Police began reviewing the footage in detail. The elevator ride was smooth. No sudden stops, no malfunctions, nothing unusual. But from the ground floor to the 14th, no camera caught Emily leaving the elevator. There was simply no record of her stepping out. Firefighters opened the elevator shaft and scanned the dark space with their flashlights. Just metal, dust, cables stretching into the dark. No fibers, no torn clothing, no scratches. Nothing to suggest she had fallen or that any kind of struggle took place. It looked as if Emily Park had never been inside the elevator at all. By morning, her roommate realized something was wrong. Emily's bed was untouched. Her keys hadn't returned. Her cup sat exactly where she'd left it. Her phone never reconnected to the network. When she saw the elevator footage, her voice cracked. She always texts me when she gets home. This doesn't make sense. Police questioned residents. Only one person, an elderly man living on the 13th floor, reported anything unusual. He said that around the same time Emily disappeared, he heard the elevator stop on their floor. The doors opened, and from inside, he swore he heard two voices, low, hurried, almost arguing. But the elevator's internal system showed no stop on the 13th floor at that time. A sound without a registered stop, a stop without visual evidence, a contradiction investigators couldn't ignore. Digging deeper, detectives found something unexpected. A second, older camera installed above the main one inside the elevator. Building staff assumed it had been broken for years, but the footage still existed. From this higher angle, right before the elevator doors fully closed, Emily suddenly lifted her head and turned sharply toward the hallway outside. She didn't look scared. She didn't look confused. She looked as if she recognized something. She heard something she expected to see. But hallway cameras showed absolutely no one there. Investigators then examined the elevator's internal logs, and that raised even more questions. Emily pressed the 14th floor, but the elevator made a brief unrequested stop on the 11th floor. Just 3 seconds. During those 3 seconds, the cabin's weight sensor registered a sudden drop, not an increase. A drop, as if something inside became lighter, or simply wasn't there anymore. Then the elevator resumed its ascent, continuing to the 14th floor without any further input. A technician, speaking off the record, said quietly, "If someone pulled her out, weight should go up. If she walked out, the cameras should see it. But a weight drop, that's different." The audio recording raised even more questions. Forensic analysts enhanced the sound from the 3-second stop. Buried beneath the hum of the machinery was a faint, compressed noise, too distorted to identify, too short to interpret. It wasn't clear speech. It wasn't clearly mechanical. It was simply unexplainable. But it pointed investigators back to the same moment, the unexplained, 3 seconds on the 11th floor. After Emily disappeared, her accounts remained silent. Her cards were never used. Her phone never turned on again. No surveillance camera in the city ever captured her again. The official police statement read only this: Emily Park exited the elevator in a manner not captured by any surveillance camera. Her father later said something that stayed with the investigators. "I don't believe she vanished. I believe we just haven't found the path she took." Today, the apartment building stands mostly empty, but the elevator still runs, and every so often, maintenance staff report a brief, unexplained pause on the 11th floor, with no button pressed and no passengers inside. Sometimes, the most unsettling mysteries aren't the ones caught on camera, but the ones our cameras never see. And Emily Park's disappearance remains one of them.
End of files.